Hi, friends. I'm here. It's me, Jana. Thanks for coming back to my channel. It's been a hot minute since I've been on here. Well, after being sick and things just got busy, and then we took a little mini vacation, and so yeah, I missed some video time. I'm trying to find this on my iPad, and for whatever reason it is not coming up. So I just need to make sure that I'm actually on here. Plus I like to be able to see the chat. Oh, I see what's happening. It's just showing my I don't know. It says I'm live, but I'm not finding myself on here. Okay, well, if anybody is watching, can you leave me a comment, please, just so that I know that I am truly on here, because it's not coming up for me on my iPad. Well, I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm not seeing any comments, and I can't get it to come up. So I guess I'm just going to have to trust that I am live. There it is, finally. Yay! Okay. I am seeing it now. All right, so the card I'm making today, I called it Blast from the Past because, as you can see, it's a very retro stamp set called Tune In, and actually this is the bundle. So I have the coordinating dies to go along with it. And I will put the link to my shopping site in the description box below. You might want to go check that out, because bundles, you save an extra 10% on bundles this month. So this one you'll save an extra 10% on. You save an extra 10% anyway on bundles when things are bundled together, but now you get another 10% on top of that. So that's a pretty good deal. Okay. And that is just on Stamp and Die bundles, but also the machines. The Stamp and Cut and Emboss machines are also on sale this month. So if you have had that on your wish list, now's a great time to invest in one of those. Okay, so I've got all my little parts and pieces here. The pattern paper that I'm using today comes from this 6x6 pack called Bright and Beautiful. And there's all sorts of fun designs in here, and they are double-sided. I really like this pack of paper. So there you have that. Okay, my card base today is Night of Navy. And it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, the usual size. And I think we will do some stamping first. That sounds like a good idea. I'm stamping on Very Vanilla today just because it reminds me of the color of those old-fashioned TV sets. Some of them, not all of them, but plus as they aged, you know how that plastic would kind of yellow? So that is what I am doing. Just going to bring in my Misty today. Don't mind the dirty paper that's on there. I've cut double-sided sticky tape on there too, just because it always helps to hold your paper in place. So that's what's going on there. Okay, let me get my TV on here. Okay, I'm going to stamp it in pecan pie. Oh, I might be talking funny. I've got a butterscotch hard candy in my mouth. Sorry about that. Oh, wow. I got plenty of ink on there. Didn't mean to do that. Worked out okay. I only had to do it once. All right, let me get a wipey wipe. I actually don't really like to clean my stamps off with baby wipes because it just always seems like they leave a little bit of fibers behind. And I don't have my chamois wet. I should have done that. Okay, so there is that. But I think while I have it out, I'll go ahead and, where's my gray? Here it is. So I have a piece of smoky slate. And I'm just going to stamp what is going to go on the screen of the TV. And I don't need pecan pie for that. I am going to use black because TVs back in the day like this were only black and white. So I'm going to put this right in the middle here because I'm going to be die cutting it out. Oh, can you hear the birds? I love it when the birds are happy outside. Okay, let's see how this turns out. I may have to do it one more time. Yep, one more time, I think. Even though I could probably use that and it would go along with the times, because remember how fuzzy things kind of looked a lot of times back in the day? Well, some of you may not remember that. But trust me, they did. Snowy, fuzzy, whatever you want to call it. All right, that's better. And I think really that I don't need to use this anymore. I have both the Misty and my Stampin' Up! That you can't get anymore, stamping platform, and I use them both. It just depends on what I grab. I like them both. Okay, so we have this. We have the TV. What else do I need here? I'm going to be doing some die cutting with the black. And this is already cut. Oh yeah, on the gray, I do need to stamp something else, but let me die cut this first and just see if I need to grab another piece of something. So in the dies, you have one that cuts out the TV, and I may as well go ahead and grab that. You have one that cuts out the screen, this one. This one cuts out the antenna. And then you've got some that cut out little doodahs, designs, and same with this. This was like, would come up on the screen back in the day. Sometimes word letters would be across it. You can choose to just totally die cut a TV and not stamp it. So this gives you like the speaker and the knobs. You've got another fun design there and another antenna if you just want to die cut and not stamp. So that's what all the dies are. I always just like to put a piece of tape to hold my dies in place. Even if I'm using a machine that has magnets in it, I don't know. I don't trust that they're not going to scooch around. I probably should color this first before I cut it out. I think I will. But I'm going to go ahead and cut this one out. Then I'll know if I have enough room on there for my antenna or if I need another little piece. So there is that. Let me bring my magnetic bowl over here to put my dies in so I don't lose anything. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to need another piece of gray. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. It's just still left over from when I had bronchitis. All right, so let me see what I have here. I may have to cut a piece off of a big sheet. Yep. I don't have any more scraps in this color that are going to work, I don't think. I can try this one. I don't think this has enough room. Not really. Not to stamp it and die cut it. So I'll just cut myself a little square off of here. I always hate cutting into a great big full sheet of cardstock for one little thing. So I think yesterday and today might have been the last day of school for most kids. Not sure, but depends on where you live too. Some kids get out of school for the summer in May. All right. There is that. Okay, time to color a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of coloring I need to do. For the antenna here, I am going to just color in the base with a dark smoky slate here. So nothing fancy. There is that. And then on the little balls on the tips of the antenna, I am just going to fill that in with some Wink of Stella. And make them nice and sparkly. Okay, did I make that too close? Hopefully not. So I don't know if you can see the sparkle, but it's there. All right, now for the TV, I have got color number 700. These are in those kind of flesh tone colors that you can get, but they come in handy for a lot of other things as well. I'm just going to color in these circles right here and go over these lines a little bit. Now keep in mind that this color is going to soften as it dries. So my husband and I just celebrated our 49th anniversary, and we went to McMenamin's Kalama Lodge up in Washington, and it was so cool there. If you ever go there and stay, be sure that you get a room that is on the riverside. The lodge itself is so fun. They've built it to make it look old. And there's a big park right there and just lots of activity. It's right on the Columbia River, and there's all kinds of activity on the river. I mean, there's some sort of a boat going by almost all the time. The big Viking ship ferries came along and docked right there by where our room was. And it was so much fun watching those. There was a couple of the bigger ferries, and then one that was a little bit smaller, not too much smaller, that was a paddle wheel. And so that was all fun to watch. And the restaurant to the lodge was right below our room. And there's just a lot of people that come there to use the park. There's an amphitheater sort of area where they have music on certain nights outside there, and volleyball nets up for people to use, and just all sorts of things. It's just a really fun place. They have a couple of hidden rooms in the lodge, so we went and found those. And yeah, it's just fun. I highly suggest going there. All right, so there is that. Now then, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out, and the antenna. And while I'm at it, I'm going to grab that fun little die and cut that out of a piece of the black. May as well do it all at one time. Again, I'm sorry for the throat clearing, and my voice gets wonky too when I talk a lot. I don't know how long that situation is going to last. You'd think I would be done with all of it by now, but it's just being a little stubborn. Okay, I think I'm ready to cut all of this out. I'll be right back. I hope you all are having a good start to your summer. Okay, so let me grab my pecan pie here. I'm going to do just a little bit of inking around edges here. And if you don't like to do this, you certainly don't have to. And let's see, smoky slate. I didn't do this around the edges of my first card that I made, so that's kind of what's fun about doing a practice card, because you can kind of then see the things that you didn't like about it or that you want to change. I think I did ink around the TV, but I didn't ink around the screen, and I was kind of wishing I had. Just because back in the day, the TVs kind of had that darker shadow around the outside of the screen. And then let's see, I probably have enough ink left that I can maybe go around the edges of this a little bit. Okay, it's time for me to cut my fingernails again. They are getting in my way. So there's those pieces. Now I brought my corner edger in. This is going to serve as the table area, whatever, to ground my TV, something to set my TV on. And I just wanted to round the edge or the corner there of that corner, kind of like it was the corner of the cabinet or table. And then I'm just going to go ahead and ink the edges of this as well. And then the other thing I want to do is sort of create a shadow area where my TV is going to be sitting. So I'm just going to kind of rub the ink here to create a shadow. I did something different on my practice card and I did not like the way it turned out at all. So that is why I'm doing it this way this time. Okay, that will give a nice shadow for where my TV is going to sit. So this is a really quick and easy card. And let me go ahead and do my inside piece. I cut another little strip of my pattern paper like I like to do to put on my inside piece here. Now my first card that I did, I turned it into a Father's Day card. I went ahead and put a Father's Day greeting on the inside. This one, I'm not going to do that. I will leave it for whatever I want to use this card for in the future. But I did need a Father's Day card, so I went ahead and did my first one for that. We ate at a really fun restaurant up there in Washington too, and it was actually right across the freeway from where the lodge was that we stayed at, and it was the Columbia River Inn restaurant. It's been there forever, like a really long time, and there's a big wooden sign, carved kind of sign on the outside of the building. Plus our friends had told us about that already before we went there, that back in the day, Elvis Presley and Jack Benny both had visited there. So I thought that was cool. And the restaurant was really nice inside and the food was great. So both of those places are somewhere that we definitely want to go back to. We are hoping that we can get the same room the next time that we go that we got this time. It was the Sasquatch room, and yes, it had a Bigfoot theme to it, and the inside, the bed is so cool. It's all very lodgy, log house looking inside. Just a really super fun place. And very relaxing, and the bed was really comfortable. All pluses. Okay, so there is that, and then my little table or whatever cabinet, whatever this is, the top of a cabinet or something here is going to go right down in that corner. So there we go with that. Okay, now let's build this TV. I'm just going to glue the screen into the TV. You can absolutely cut that part out if you want to, using the same die that I used for this. and then put whatever you want to put and glue it from the back, that so that it's showing through, you know, so that it's showing through if you cut the screen out. I thought it would be really fun to do like some cartoon type things with this TV and use some fun animal images or whatever to create sort of a cartoon look of whatever's happens to be on the TV. Uh-oh, I bent my antenna. It'll be all right. Okay, let me put just a little bit of glue here. And I'm going to set my antenna over to the side. A lot of times back in the day, I remember people would wrap tin foil on the tips of the antenna for better reception. And they called them rabbit ears. Okay, so I think we are ready to put the TV onto the stand. Let's see here. I have a bunch of edge pieces that I need to get rid of from my dimensionals. I don't like this stuff to go to waste. So I always just trim them up and get them ready to go. And I'm going to glue the feet down because that's just what I like to do. Okay, I think that is enough of that. And then I want to put just a couple of little pieces on the ends of the antennas here so that they don't get caught and bent back, like I already bent one. Okay, let me get the papers off. My fingernails are good for some things and not good for others. But when they get this long, they're just getting in the way. Okay, let me put some glue on the legs of this TV. And then I've got my shadow there, so make sure I get my TV positioned right so that the shadow is correct. Get my little antennas stuck down there. Okay, and then I've got my fun little doodahs here. I'm only going to do one set of them this time. I did 2 sets on my first card, and I thought that was a bit much. So I'm just going to do one. And I want to do this bigger piece first. Let me see if I can make it work here, holding it with my tool. It doesn't want to hold that good, but good enough. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put it right, let's see, no, I want it right in the middle. There we go. And then this one, what's it look like on the picture? Okay. Not that it matters, you can put them however you want them. And then you just kind of want to make it come like a little fan sort of look. It's like, attention, attention. Stay tuned for an important message. Okay, and then the little knobs I have, where'd they go? Here they are. The 24 to 26 in color shimmer gems. There just happens to be the perfect color on here. And let's see here. They kind of pick up some of the color from underneath too, but they fit perfectly as well. So there is my card. Stay tuned for an important message, which it can be anything you want inside. But how cute is that? I just love the big circles behind, but there's so many different patterned papers you could put behind it if that's what you wanted to do. And let me show you the first one. You can see here that I used 2 sets of that and it was too much. I didn't like it, but they were already glued on, so they are going to stay put. You can also see what I tried to do with shadowing down here. I didn't like that, so I changed that. I had not edged around the screen, and that little bit of edging around the screen just adds so much, I think. I just like it so much better. So there you can just see the differences in the 2 cards. My first practice one, and then the one for today. And definitely, I like this one better. Okay, let's have story time. Hi, Sandy. Oh, good. I'm glad that you were able to take advantage of the extra 10% off. And hi, Danita, my BFF. Yeah, that's right. TVs would go off at midnight and ask if you knew where your children were. I forgot about that. Yeah, there was always an announcer that would come on and say that how did they put it? That the broadcasting was going to now come to an end. And yeah, it's such and such time. Do you know where your children are? Yes, that's what it said every night. Okay, so getting towards the end of the Artistic Cat, Praise, Poems, and Paintings. So we'll read a few more pages out of this. A house without a cat and a well-fed, well-petted, and properly revered cat, may be a perfect house perhaps, but how can it prove its title? And that was by Mark Twain. And then this is a painting of 2 orange striped cats. Oh, and it's called 2 Cats by Jillian Peccanotti. I don't know, but I do like that painting. Wild beasts he created later, lions with their paws so furious. In the image of the lion made he kittens small and curious. Heinrich Heine, German poet and critic. And then here we have another cute painting called Felines at Play. The Cat Has Too Much Spirit to Have No Heart by Ernest Minault, a French writer. Two things are aesthetically perfect in the world, the clock and the cat by Émile Auguste Chartier, French philosopher. I try really hard to pronounce these things, but I'm sure I butcher them. Lovers most passionate, scholars austere, both love when they're, oh goodness, autumnal, see this word right here? I don't know how to say it. Both love when their autumnal season falls. Strong, gentle cats, majestic, beautiful. They too sit still and feel the cold night air. They dream and take the noble attitudes of sphinxes glazing in deep solitudes, which seem to slumber in an endless dream. Charles somebody, a French poet and critic. And this painting here is Winsor and Newton by Martin Lehmann. Okay, that's enough of me trying to pronounce words for this time. I shouldn't do that to myself. But if nothing else, it humors both myself and you guys. All right. Thanks so much for joining me today. Be sure to go check out the 10% off on bundles and the die cut and emboss machines and just whatever else might be new there that you haven't seen. I am going to have a video for Saturday Morning Makes this weekend. I haven't had one for several weeks now, and I've just been feeling really guilty about it. Plus, I miss doing it. So, but I am going to have one. And I will just see you in my next video. Take care. Have a great weekend ahead. And thanks so much for joining me. See you next time. Bye-bye.